Hello everybody and welcome to Apex Online Racing Season 9 Split 1 Round 16, the Russian Grand Prix, the first time AOR goes to the Russian track, which in my opinion is a little mediocre, but yeah, a new track on the calendar is always good, because only 2 new tracks this year on the calendar, and we got to drive Italy, but right now we are on our out lap for our final hot lap, and hopefully we can manage pole, because we did a 137.1, but as you can see Ycoms has done a 136.9, so over the line. Now we have DRS on this main straight. If you want to go into the 8th gear if possible and break down earliest as possible here into 3rd, and then take a nice exit through turn 1 and 2. Then we see a Williams on the right and making room for us. So we go into standard and we go down to 2nd gear here. We hit the apex pretty nicely, but we are a little short on our own lap, but we are 1/10 up on green, I guess. Doesn't matter. Here we go into standard mixture and 6th gear down to 3rd here. Run a little wide, not hit the curb here, and then down to 3rd gear again. Hit a lot of curb here and try to get a good exit onto this straight, which is very important. In 2nd gear, then 3rd gear, shifting up to 4th, 5th gear, and the DRS will hit the line right now, and we open it instantly. And we are up into 7th gear. When we go into the lean mixture, we are a little bit down on the other guy, and then we spin over the curve here and we lose the rear, and we decide to abandon the lap here. So in the end you see that Ycoms, our new guy who's been driving with us for the 3rd race now, managed to pick up pole, which is very impressive from him. He's a very good quality driver for sure. I follow him close behind with 1/10 off, I see, and then we have Double D in 3rd, followed by Klawitsky, and then Thomas Irish HD in 4th. The She-Man 6, we got AOR No Name, that's Nick in the Ferrari in 7th, and the grid finishes up with Grenu in 8th. So yeah, only 8 people in this race this week again, so yeah, very sad, but the race must go on. So it is time to get racing here in Russia, so we getting ready to go out on the grid, and today I am able to pick up the championship if I manage to bag 12 points in this lobby, and that means that P2 won't be able to take me even if he wins the next 3, and I crash out on all 3 of them. So just to make sure I grab the win here in the championship, I'm going to try my best. We have 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go here for AOR Split 1 Season 9 Round 16 Russia. We have a good launch off the line, and we are right behind Ycoms, and we have both Double D and Klawitsky behind us here. So we go into turn 1, we brake just around the same time as Ycoms. We leave room, he leaves room, so it's a beautiful start here, all securely through turn 1. Seems that Double D sort of has a run on us here. He sort of tries to make us make room for him, but we don't. We do cut that corner a little bit, but that was more as a precaution, so we wouldn't run wide and hit off Double D there. We still have the position going into the corner, and of course I don't want to lose a place on the first lap like I did in Japan last time, because this isn't one of my strongest tracks, and I feel if I do fall behind it, it's sort of impossible to catch up even on strategy here on this track. So we have a nice exit onto this straight. We are still behind Ycoms, as you can see, of course, and Double D is right behind us. As you can see, there's a small little pack of cars behind us, everyone's still together. It is a small grid, obviously, which is, in my opinion, takes a little way from the fun. On the other hand, the guys that are here are committed and are good drivers, one by one. You can expect great racing from each and every one of them. So here we go, coming to the end of the last sector of this first lap, into second gear before the first for before the line, and as you can see we are 6 tenths behind Wycombs and Double D 7 tenths behind us. Chloe's Keys 1.1 second behind Double D again. So the pack is pretty close to each other still, and we have a nice slipstream here on Wycombe, so we're right on his gearbox now through turn 1 and 2, and now we're going to this long left-hander into sector 2 almost. We pick up a nice apex here. I know I'm more on the inside line here, but yeah, that's just what this track really promotes, and everybody's doing it, so yeah. Just like when everybody jumps in a lake, I'll jump behind them and try to rescue them from drowning. Anyway, so here we go, sector 2. We have a nice line through this sector. Last lap we did lose a little time here on Wycombs. This time we managed to stay the same gap. And onto this main straight into Rich Mix. We have a nice run onto him in his slipstream now. And we are ready to make our move here into this corner. Hopefully we are on the outside. He has the inside line, but we decide to break with him, and we go around him here. He gives us room, which is very nice. I like it when the driver is clean in that sense, and I always try to give the same attitude towards a guy who drives clean, of course. So that's the move done on Wycombs. Hopefully we can stick well, keep it in front of him after this straight as well, because DRS will be enabled on this lap, but he won't be getting it on this straight, obviously. So we dive to the right. He also dives into a slipstream. I'm very defensive in the way I drive when I'm trying to pull away from someone, obviously. And down the straight, almost hitting the limiter on gear 7 already on lap 3, so that's good. We have our arrow set fairly low, so that should provide nice straight line speed, and lower gears should compensate us in the corners for our turn in, so like going here to second gear instead of third like the game suggests. So yeah, that's good stuff. We move to lap 4, little skip there. Wycombe still behind us, you can see, and he's battling Double D now at the moment, so 1.2 from us, and then Double D is like nothing behind him, as you can see. And I believe at some point Double D, yeah, here we go, there's Double D's move. Overtook Wycombs there. So it seems that Wycombs has a good quali pace, but his race pace he still needs to work on. Actually spoke to him a couple of hours ago before recording this, and he actually agreed on that, so so I gave him a tip on how to increase race pace. So let's see next Sunday how that will turn out. For now we're still 1.9 seconds ahead of Double D, and Wycombs has obviously has DRS now on Double D because he's only 0.3 behind. But we all have like a small margin to Double D. We still have to maintain the pace here and make sure we keep this gap so he doesn't come into DRS territory. On -1 of lap of fuel, as you could see, so we did spend a little, a lot of fuel in the first opening laps just to build this gap, and we go 0.020 purple, as you can see. Yeah, that's really nice consistency there on lap 5. Here we go, lap 9. This is our pitting lap, so it's time to get our tires changed for something better. You see Wycombs is 5.5 seconds behind us now, and also Chloe Double D. But as you can see on the mini-map, that's because they all pitted on lap 9. Sorry, lap 8, and we decided to stay out 1 lap more. We can hear that our engineer is telling us that the guys behind us went for prime tires. We are sort of cautious here. You see the back end squirming a little bit, so losing pace here, 0.6 seconds behind on our last lap, so tires definitely going off there. And here we at the end of sector 2, we are 9 tenths down on our last lap, so we lost a second compared to our last lap here already at the end of 2 sectors. So at the end of sector 3 it's time to get rid of these tires. And last lap we heard that Double D went off after this corner. He went over the line and got reset, so I take this very easy and nice and slowly just to make sure that it doesn't happen to me. 3.695 pit stops, so just below 3.7 seconds. So I would say these guys are really on it today. Because usually pit stop go over 3.7 seconds. So we're going to exit the pits here, and hopefully our second slower in lap still maintains our gap to Wycombe's there. Because as you can see, because double D reset, Wycombe's obviously went back from third to second. So that's a nice promotion from him. As you can see on the mini-map, he's fairly close to us, only around, I'd say, 2.5 seconds gap to us, and we had 5 seconds. So we did lose out on our extra lap of options there, and let's see, the gap now is 2.694. So pretty close to us, but let's pull out away from him, since we have a nice set of primes here, which are 1 lap fresher. So on lap 19, nothing really happened in this stint, so we come back into the pits. Break a little later here, but we do lose the car's rear end there a little bit. As you can see, I had to correct myself. So skipping to the pit stop, and here we go on to a 3.700 or 03. Yeah, there you go, almost perfect. But yeah, we go on to our last set of option tires for the last stint, and let's hope we can get a nice lap in for the people that are watching here. A nice purple lap maybe. So coming out of the pits, we see that everyone behind me went into the pits at the same time this time. So they all went a lap longer on their primes and pitted at the same time as me. So that's also a strategy. I guess it was the better strategy, since I did lose time on everyone at the end of my stint on options. I should have pitted at the same time, but that could have also caused me to be held up, and that's even worse. So at lap 21, you see 8.2 second gap to Double D, so he caught up to Wycombe's and passed him again. And I believe this is the fastest lap that I drove here in this race. You can see me here in high fuel, and I'm gonna be in high fuel for most of the lap, except the traction zones obviously. So a nice corner there, we clip the apex there, we're going purple as obviously, because it's well, let's say the first hot lap on these fresh tires, so that's the lap that you want to do your purple lap on, preferably, since the grip is still there. Down to second, and then up to fifth, and then down to second again. We take a little too much curve in the sector, I have to admit. Weren't all clean corners there, so take this corner pretty nicely. Good exit onto the straight, shifting up to 5th and 6th gear obviously. 7th gear, still in fast high fuel mixture, then down to lean, still purple. Still not hitting the 8th gear, I don't believe we do on this straight throughout the entire race. That's okay. Going into 4th gear, down to 2nd gear again, trying to clip this apex, don't run over the curb, because it's gonna, let's say, destroy your balance. Your back end will step out on you. So just a little line there, and here we go through the last corner over the line with a 138 flat, or let's say 0.43, so almost flat. Moving to the end of lap 27, because yeah, the race wasn't really exciting, and it's logical with only 7 people starting. You can see right now there's only 4 people left actually, because we had someone disconnect, and then someone had to retire because his wheel went funny, because his USB plugged out, and when he plugged it back in it didn't work anymore. So unfortunate for Kimi there, the Shima. But yeah, it's time to make the championship official, and coming over the line, going to go in reverse obviously. That's not really a nice way to spin around. I was worried for a tiny moment there, but it still would have been alright if Double D won it. I wouldn't have cared. So at the end of the race, we can see we take the win. That's the 7th in a row for this season. It's pretty nice, because it's 2 more than Alex did last year, Alex Gillen. And I was the one that broke his streak, so he must been pretty pissed about that at that time. Anyways, Double D is in 2nd, we have Wycombe's in 3rd, and then we have Klawitsky in 4th, Krenu in 5th, Toshima in 6th, and Thomas Iris in 7th. Yeah, that's it guys for this week. Not too exciting race, but still a nice track to see, of course. And next week is America. I'll be starting from the back, hopefully lots of action there. And I hope to see you again on the next episode. Peace!